What's up, football heads? Welcome back to that show. As always, I am Kyle. He is Cesar. And this is NOOB Football Picks, Week 11. We're already in Week 11. It's disgusting. I
Blink
hate
of an eye. We're already halfway through the season and almost done with the regular season. That's ridiculous, sad, but also it's what makes this sport exciting and the best sport there is. So let's get down to it.
It's November.
Yeah.
Dude, it's halfway through November. I can't wrap my head around this. It was just like June, like 3 weeks ago, I swear.
Yeah,
It's the Large Hadron Collider, man. They're doing weird stuff down there in Switzerland.
We just learned about the Micah Parsons trade like last weekend. And now we're in week 11.
It feels that way.
Yeah. I mean, it's another week where we missed the recording before the Thursday night game between the Jets and the Patriots. I don't know about you, but I clearly had the Pats on this game. They won. So.
Yeah, no. Once the Jets won that game, I have no reason to pick them ever again.
That's it. Just one game. I mean, they won two, right?
Yeah.
So at least they got two in their pocket. So. But yeah, I missed the game. Unfortunately, I passed out. It's been like I was telling you before we recorded. It's been a week of work and I've been exhausted. So I just got home, spent some time with my family, and then just passed out as my daughter passes out right next to me. So yeah,
you didn't miss much. You did not miss much.
I figured it was going to be a blowout game. I mean, it wasn't a blowout game either way, but it's a Thursday night football game. They haven't been that excited in recent memory, so. It's fine. I can see the Patriots beat another bad team coming up in a couple of weeks. So yeah, it's not like I miss anything.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into it. We got another international game. This time in Madrid. The first time the NFL will be playing. There you go. The 3-7 Washington Commanders. The 3-7 Miami Dolphins in a potential barn burner. NFL Network, NFL Plus, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Commanders, Dolphins, who you got?
You're going to laugh. I got the Dolphins. I got Tua Tagovailoa taking advantage of this recent turn of events where they actually were successful against the Bills and just keep the tide rolling for them. So I'm picking the Dolphins. I think the Commanders are suffering from some bad juju right now, and I feel that's going to continue this week. I like the Fins in this one.
Yeah, I mean, the Commanders, they got a lot of injuries. Jaden Daniels is still out. Dolphins, very spirited win last week against the Buffalo Bills. But I would not be shocked if the Dolphins won this game, but and part of me almost wants to pick them, but every time they have one of these games this year, which is only 3 times, where you're like, oh, maybe the Dolphins, maybe they're getting some juice back, maybe they're gonna get back into the swing of things. They come out and they lose in horrifying fashion the next week. So I guess I'm gonna pick the Commanders in part because it's bad for the Vikings. The more wins they get, the more likely they are to say, well, let's throw Jaden Daniels out there when they play Minnesota. But
I believe Daniels is not.
I'm not
playing,
confident
right?
in this. No.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't fly him to Spain, even if he didn't need surgery or rip anything, with just a dislocation. Don't just sit him out. Just don't fly him out to Spain. Let him rest. Let him get that elbow back into shape and just wait it off.
Yeah, I don't know. I will not wake up at 6:30 in the morning for this. So
I'll probably wake up. I'll probably do some yard work, so I might not watch the start of this game. So we'll see.
All right, let's move on. Now we got you said 9 divisional games this week. Big week across the National Football League. We got one here on the slate. 3-6 Cincinnati Bengals headed to Pittsburgh, take on the 5-4 Pittsburgh Steelers. 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Bengals, Steelers. Who you got?
I still have faith in the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have not lost my faith in the Steelers. I have not lost my faith in Aaron Rodgers. I have not lost my faith
Oh
in
my
that
God.
defense. So I'm going to pick the Steelers because let's be honest, even if you don't have faith in the Steelers, even if you don't believe in the Steelers, they're facing the Bengals, who have a great offense but a horrible defense. So I don't think that's. I mean, you can say that the Pittsburgh Steelers have a good offense and a bad offense. I mean, a good defense and a bad offense, but like it should be canceling each other out. But let's be honest, the Steelers are a better team at this point, and they should be able to win this game. I'm going to pick the Steelers. Hey, Mike Tomlin, don't let me down, please, because I've been picking your team for the past couple of weeks. You let me down a couple of times now.
There's no reason to have faith in the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers had, I think his QBR was like a 4 last week. I've been telling you for a month and a half now. They're not bad. The Steelers are just thoroughly unimpressive. But the Bengals are the Bengals, and when it comes to both of these teams,
they are who we thought they were.
And the Bengals already beat the Steelers earlier this year on that Thursday night. They ain't going to do it again. Steelers are going to win this game. The Ravens getting back in control of the division is going to have to wait another week or two, but it's coming. Believe me, it's coming. But it's not going to happen this week. Steelers are going to get it done against Cincinnati. No doubt. No doubt.
No doubt indeed.
All right, next up we got a rematch of a playoff game from a couple years ago. A notable playoff game where the Chargers blew a massive lead to the Jacksonville Jaguars. The LA Chargers headed to Jacksonville at 7-3 to take on the 5-4 Jags. 1 p.m. on CBS. Chargers, Jags. Who you got?
This might be a slipper. I'm not slipper. What I was going to say. I'm tired, folks. I'm sorry. A sleeper. This might be a sleeper game of the week, honestly. These two teams, they feel like they have reached a good amount of level where they're actually in the same level. The Jaguars have gone up a lot this season, and then the Chargers, who have always been a good contending team, they've always been like in the bottom of that contending team. They've always been like on the wild card side of this past couple of seasons. So I feel like these teams have reached a level where they're equals. So this could be a sleeper game of the week. And if we are honest, if we're talking about how these offenses are working this season, I know the Chargers have a lot of injuries, especially on the O-line, but I believe that they can get the job done. I'm going to go with the Chargers this week.
The bit is that I pick the Jags every week, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like they're slipping here. I don't have a lot of faith in Trevor Lawrence. I like what the Chargers are about, but you got to commit to the bit. Duval. I'm taking the Jags, and here's how they can get it done. The Chargers missing both their tackles for the rest of the season. They're banged up on the offensive line. Justin Herbert, I believe he's the most hit quarterback in the league this year. It's been a down year for Josh Allen Hines Allen. The former Josh Allen, who's not the Josh Allen. Josh Allen Hines? Josh Hines Allen? I forget. I don't like hyphenated names. Are weird to me. But Travon Walker, a down year for him. Neither of those guys is getting it done in the trenches the way they would hope in terms of at least sack numbers. I think this presents an opportunity for them to get off the schneid a little bit, get some sacks on Justin Herbert. That's how the Jags can get it done. I'm not confident in this pick, but I am going to pick the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I mean, I would not fault you. I'm not going to fault you for that, to be completely honest. Like I said, I think these teams have reached a place where they're both on the equal spectrum of how good they are. And even, like you said, even though Trevor Lawrence hasn't been the elite quarterback that he was expected to be when he got drafted, I feel like they've been playing really well this season. They look really good. They have a good winning record. So, this might be a really good game. This might be one of the best games of the week.
All right, next up we got there's a lot of really good games this week, and this is the first one. 6-3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers headed to Buffalo to take on the 6-3 Buffalo Bills, coming off a tough loss to Miami. 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Bucs Bills. Who you got?
Never trust a Florida team in Buffalo. I'm picking the Bills. They're angry. They're at home. They're trying to get back in the top of the division. Right now, they're losing to their second place to the Pats. So they're really hungry to get back on top of that division and make sure that they can get in good position to have home games during the playoffs. So they have everything at stake here. The Buccaneers, they are probably going to win the South regardless of if they win or lose this game. That doesn't matter as much to them. Although the Falcons are still right there, they can move up. The Panthers are also having a good record right now. They're moving up as well. But right now, it looks like Buccaneers are going to continue to dominate the South without no question. But with that said, the Bills, they lost last week in a humiliating fashion because everybody thought they were going to crush the Dolphins in Miami. They did not. They actually got their ass handed to them. So I'm picking the Bills in this game. I like the Bucs. I don't like the Bucs. I do respect their talent in that team. That's all I'm going to say. But they still have some injuries in there. And Baker Mayfield cannot do it alone. So Bills, they're going to win this one.
I think you pretty well covered it. The Bills need this game more than the Bucs. Like the Panthers are hanging around. The Falcons aren't fully dead yet, but you can't trust either one of those teams at all. The Bills are sitting in second place. They're the 6th seed in the AFC right now. There's teams lingering. They got the heads up on the Chiefs with the head-to-head victory a couple weeks ago, but the Jags are still around there. You still have a handful of teams. The Ravens are starting to work their way. If the Ravens win this week, they'll be back to 500. The Bucs, they're in firm control, but they too did come off a tough loss last week to the Patriots. But the Bills, I think, are going to be pissed. The Bucs angry, Bills pissed. The Bills are at home. They know they need this. I think the Bucs are a more talented team, but they are dealing with the injuries. So I'm with you. I'm taking the Bills in this one. It could go either way for sure. I'm not as concerned about a Florida team going to Buffalo in mid-November and the team being the Bucs. Like if this was the Dolphins going to Buffalo in late December, that's a different story. But my gut says the Bills, but I could see this going either way for sure.
It's another game of the week potential right here. They can go either way, but I feel the Bills are going to win this game regardless of how good the Buccaneers are. So, yeah.
All right, next up we have another divisional matchup. 4-5 Houston Texans taking on the 1-8 Tennessee Titans. 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Who you got?
Speaking of games that could be game of the week, this is not one of them. I'm going with the Texans. I don't think Cam Ward and the Titans can do anything. I don't care about the Texans at this point. They are not a team that's important to me at this point of the season. I do not care if they win. I do not care if they lose. I don't care if the CJ Stroud does a hell of a job. I don't care if he falls. And it doesn't matter. This game to me, it's one of those footnotes. It's just like, yeah, it's happening. Nobody cares. It's a divisional game. Only the fans of these teams care. So I'm sorry to the fans. I don't care about either one of these teams right now. They have shown nothing to me that make me interested in at least watching one of their games. So I'm picking the Texans just because the Titans are not as good as the Texans, and the Texans are a better team, even though it's not like the Texans are contenders right now. So I'm going with the Texans.
I mean, the Texans started 0-3. They had a chance to get to 3-3, and they lost. They went to 2-4. Clawed back, had a chance to get to 4-4, and they lost. Now they have a chance to get back to 5-5, back to 500 for the first time since 0-0 to start the season. Now with those first two games that they lost with a chance to get back to even, they were playing teams with a winning record. This time they're playing the worst team in football. The offensive line is terrible. No CJ Stroud. Dougie Mills is in there. Davis Mills played a great game last week down the stretch when they needed him. But that defense is still that defense. The Titans are not close to figuring this out. I feel bad for Cam Ward. Texans are going to win this game.
Yeah, I mean,
sweep of the Titans.
There should be any doubt whatsoever, and no offense to any of the players and the Titans organization. Well, yeah, offense to the Titans organization, not the players. It's not their fault they're not being developed into good teams because the organization is dumb as fuck, trading away the best players to other teams. Yeah, it's the Texans. They're going to win this easily.
All right, next up, another divisional game. 5-5 Carolina Panthers headed to Atlanta to take on the 3-6 Falcons. 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Panthers Falcons. Who you got?
This is a very important game for both teams because, like I said, during the Buccaneers and Bills game, all of these teams are trying to get ahead. They're trying to give the Bucs a run for the money of the division. Like I said, I believe the Bucs are going to run with the division again this year. But if they fall asleep, one of these two teams can take over and win the actual spot in the playoffs as the number one team in that division. So Bucs, stick to what works and try not to get injured anymore. I'm picking the Falcons in this one. The Panthers, they're doing their thing. We're really good this week, and we're really bad last week, but we're really good 2 weeks in a row. So they're doing that thing where they're inconsistent again, but it works for them. I think it's working for them right now, as it is. But I'm going with the Falcons. I think the Falcons are going to get it done this week. They're home. They're good. They have a good home crowd. Ambience where they play better at home. So I'm going with them over the Panthers in this one.
Neither one of these teams is good enough or bad enough for me to believe that one of them is going to sweep the other team. The Panthers beat the Falcons week 3?
Yeah.
30-0.
Yep.
And in that game, they win 30-0. Bryce Young threw for less than 200 yards. He might have thrown for less than 150 yards. The Panthers, I have not watched enough of them to understand. As someone who hasn't watched enough Panthers football, I don't fully understand how they're 5-5. The Falcons, meanwhile, I don't understand how they're 3-6. They should have more wins than this. They've lost a lot of tough, close games. That week 1 game against the Bucs, they clawed back in. They almost beat the Pats a couple weeks ago. There's another couple games in there mixed in. Now, they did beat the Bills. They beat the Vikings. But I can't see them getting swept by the Panthers. As up and down as both of these teams have been, more down for the Falcons, but I think they get their get back for that week 3 game. I think the Falcons get back to 4-6. I think the Falcons beat the Panthers, knock them back under 500. Sort of tying into what we were talking about with the Bucs, where it's like they're gonna win the South, and Falcons are gonna help them out.
Oh yeah, Falcons are gonna be their swag surfing over the Panthers this week. Might be the best thing about that team, to be completely honest.
Swag surfing?
Yeah, it's fun. I like fun shit.
That's all they got going.
I like fun shit when it comes to teams and their fans and their mascots. Like I like when the team has things are just there. That's their thing. Like the Bills Mafia, like going through tables.
Game day experience. You gotta have a good game day experience.
Exactly. If I go to a game and there's nothing about it that feels special or unique to that place, to that team, to that stadium, then it's just a bad experience. And not bad, but like it's whatever. Forgettable.
All right, next up we got the 5-3-1 Green Bay Packers headed to New Jersey to take on the New Jersey Giants, sitting at 2-8, 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Packers looking to get off a 2-game losing streak. Giants fired their head coach, possibly completely dead. Who you got?
I told you last week, Packers fans, we beat you in the offseason. We beat you in the playoffs. We beat you in Brazil. And now we beat you again in Lambeau Field. Guess what? You're losers. You're cheese-headed losers. And you're not going to win again. oh, it was an ugly game, blah, blah, blah. They didn't call a full circle. I don't give a shit. I don't care. We won. You lost. And Micah Parsons did not get to Jalen Hurts. He was tripping Saquon Barkley everywhere, but, they didn't call that either. But you're not complaining about that, are you? But either way, hey, Packers, you're losing this week because Jermaine's Wisdom is going to be the quarterback this week. And my man's going to get it done for the Giants. And I don't like the Giants. I don't like either one of these teams. I don't even want the Giants to win this game. But guess what? They're going to win this game. They're going to lose 3 in a row. So, bye-bye, cheeseheads.
Yeah, Jameis he's quoting Hamilton. He's quoting Bible scripture. It's anytime we get Jameis Winston playing football, we need to enjoy it. We need to treasure it. I hope he gets it done. He's going to sling it. That's the one thing you can guarantee. You got Mike Kafka, the offensive coordinator. He's taken over for Daboll, who got fired. I could see them just, they're, what are they? They're 2-8. They're not going anywhere. I suppose if they win out the rest of their games, they could finish above 500. That's not going to happen. So I think there's a good chance they just come in here and just start slinging it. And Jameis throws a few touchdowns, maybe throws a few picks on top of it. But I think they're going to just completely let loose in this game. And they're going to lose to the Green Bay Packers because I just cannot see Green Bay dropping 3 straight games with the 3rd straight game being to the New York Football Giants. Just, I can't see it. I hope they prove me wrong because I hope Green Bay loses every game they play for the rest of time. They could split with the Bears. But beyond that, I'm never going to root for the Packers. I can't see it. Like the fans they've had it up to their eyebrows with Matt LaFleur, which Mr. Eyebrow. So
Mr. Fruit Ninja.
Unintentional. I guess that's not a pun, but whatever it was not intentional. But they've had it up to their well manicured eyebrows with Matt LaFleur. They want him fired. He's holding Jordan Love back. Jordan Love is still. You still don't really know what you're going to get from game to game, moment to moment with them, but they're too talented. Their defense is playing far too well. I think they're going to pick off. Jameis is going to do his thing. They're going to move the ball, but they're going to get a couple well-timed interceptions, I think, and the Packers will end up winning this fairly comfortably. I think the first half, it could be a game, but then I think the Packers pull away. They're just too talented, and they need it. They need this win. They can't keep falling apart.
Guess what? When you run the same inside zone to the right multiple times in a single game, any defense is going to catch that shit. And when you see that the defense is clearly calling it out, inside zone this way, calling audible. Don't run the exact play that they already know you're going to run on 4th down with the game on the line. Don't do that. That's amateur.
With the game on the line.
Oh my gosh. It was right there. They could have won. I was on my seat like, oh my God, we're going to lose this game. They could have. And they just run the same play. And the new boy in the Eagles from Miami, he gets the play. He stops Jacobs is his name, the running back. I forgot his name, his last name for the Packers. Josh Jacobs. Yes, Jacobs. Josh Jacobs and Johnson.
Jacobs.
He gets to stop, and that was game. That was it. I mean, of course, then Nick Sirianni almost fucked it up with whatever that decision was, and I think he tried to justify it in the presser, but it's whatever. It's past. I don't care. And then one last thing about this game, I want to congratulate the New York Giants organization because they finally got rid of that Humpty Dumpty looking mediocre ass coach Brian Daboll. So congratulations, Giants! You've got yourselves an actual good thing happening to you this season.
Oh man, what we get a rant where you refer to Brian Daboll as Humpty Dumpty and drop a reference to Inside Zone, the football noob talking about Inside Zone. We got to at least get up there. Rocco, flip that thing. Do something. If they're just calling it out, like, come on, man.
Call an audible. Don't fucking run the same play. Hey, just switch the zone. Play to go to the other side.
I don't know, man, but we'll stay in the NFC North for our last 1 p.m. game. This game is 1 p.m. on Fox. The 6-3 Chicago Bears headed to the North, the true North, to take on my 4-5 Minnesota Vikings, looking to bounce back after a tough loss to the Ravens where the game was in hand and they let it go. They just let it slide in the middle. You got to win the middle 8, Cesar. You have to win the middle 8. And they did everything they could to lose the middle 8. And they just couldn't come back at the end. But the Vikings looking to bounce back, get back to 500 again, hosting the Bears, 1 p.m. on Fox. Who you got?
See, I know you don't pick the Vikings games, but I know you like to say how the Vikings can win this game. So I'm gonna let you go first.
Like a dog in the street.
Are you prepared?
The Vikings, here's the deal. I said last week, I've been saying for weeks, I'm not like insulting the Bears. I'm not saying, oh, they're trash, they're overrated. I've been saying they're finding ways to win, but they make these games way harder than they need to be against teams that aren't very good. Like at some point, this is going to bite them in the ass. And I said after last week, I threw my hands up and I said, you know what? Fuck it. The Bears are just, this is how they're going to win games. They're winning these games. I'm done questioning it. I'm just going to let it play out. And then the Vikings lose this Ravens game. And my football ESP, my Vikings ESP, my gut feelings, my ability to sort of know, like you watch your team long enough, you know what they're going to do before they do it.
Yeah.
And it's just, I haven't been able to like sync up with them this year. And then when we lost the Ravens game, I texted you exactly what's going to happen the rest of the year. And the first thing was, because I threw my hands up and said that the Bears, they're just going to keep doing it. They're going to end up losing next week. So I think it comes down to the Bears are who we thought they were. No, the Bears are, they're making games that they win tougher than they need to be against bad teams. Like they haven't really beaten anybody good, which you got to play the games on the schedule. You deserve credit for beating bad teams. And they're a team with a young quarterback, new coach, that they're learning how to win, and they're 6-3.
Yeah.
And you got to give them credit for that. You have to give the Bears credit, even if they're making it tougher, even if they're letting teams back in the games, and then they got to come back at the end. They are finding ways to win games, and that is a valuable skill set and experience to learn. But the Vikings are better than the Raiders. The Vikings are better than the Bengals. The Vikings are better than the Giants. The Vikings beat the Bears playing 3 quarters of terrible football and then just smoking them in the fourth quarter on Monday Night Football to open the season. J.J. McCarthy, despite what the national media wants you to believe, is not a terrible quarterback. He is a young quarterback. He has played 4 games in which they have gone 2-2, and he has demonstrated some positive things. I'm not going to litigate the whole issue. I think the issue with him right now is he gets too amped up once the game's like really going, and you know when you're jacked up, you're moving too fast. So he's going through his progressions too fast, and this is leading to him sailing balls and missing Justin Jefferson wide open like 4 times. Although Jefferson did drop a
couple of passes,
should be touchdown.
Yeah.
But this is a guy who's been meditating since he's 18. He does breath work. Like he has the tools to overcome the getting too amped upness of it. And like if you watch the tape, you could tell he knows what he's looking at. Like he's canning plays at the line. He's checking into the right plays for the right situation. So he's not like panicking. He's just like, he's too jacked up and then his mechanics fall apart. But the fan base was on Jefferson all week that, you know, he's soft quitting on first McCarthy's get soft benched, and now Jefferson is soft quitting because he wants to be traded and all this other nonsense. Because Vikings fans are fatalist, and they
every fan base is
always
ridiculous.
Yeah, no, every fan base is dumb, but the Vikings brand of dumb is they just always think that the worst possible thing is about to happen. But the Bears defense is struggling. The Bears run game on offense has been really good. I believe they're second in yards per game, which they've been terrible running the ball the last few years. So credit to Ben Johnson for that. But the Vikings run defense has gotten better. They shut down Saquon Barkley. They held Derrick Henry to 75 yards. They completely shut down Jahmyr Gibbs. So we'll see if they can contain that run game. It's gonna be Caleb Williams isn't taking as many sacks. Jonathan Grenard is out for this game, so they might not get as much pressure on the quarterback as you would hope. But I think that the Bears defense can be had. Jalen Johnson, they just took him off IR. He was limited on Friday, did not practice Wednesday or Thursday. I'd be pretty surprised if he played. Kyler Gordon's still out. So you're looking at Nishan Wright is still starting at outside corner. I would anticipate Jefferson, based on all those factors, the shit people were talking about him all week, all the McCarthy and him, they're just not connecting. He didn't have a great game week 1 against the Bears. He wasn't locked into fine-tuned details as you'd like. I think Jefferson has a great game, and
excuse me.
It's the Bears. Their defense has a lot of well-timed turnovers that kind of bails out how bad their defense has been. And then Caleb has done an excellent job in crunch time getting things done for him. It just, to me, it feels like they're due for a loss. And this is probably the best team that they've played since the last time they lost. What have they won? 4 games in a row, I think, something like that.
4 or 5? I don't know.
I mean, the Bears are playing. I think these two are playing roughly about the same type of football. The Vikings just have a much tougher schedule this year. Another thing that leans me towards the Vikings with this is the Vikings are 2.5 point favorites, despite being under 500 and the Bears being 6-3, which means all the bets and all the money are coming in on the Bears because the betting public is like, well, the Bears are a better team. Why aren't they favored? This is easy money. I can get the Bears at plus 2.5. I'm going to take that. And it's just that it's one of those weird lines where you look at it, it's like, what does Vegas know? Every once in a while, like what was it? The Lions Chiefs game, right?
Yeah.
Where the Chiefs were favored against the Lions and the Chiefs were still in the struggle.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. I was like, Vegas knows something. And I picked the Chiefs and the Chiefs won. So that's kind of my thoughts on this. I wouldn't be shocked either way. It's a divisional game. You got to throw the records out the window. But Skull Vikings.
No, you're right. Those are very
one more note. My boy Harrison Smith, this is his 200th career game on Sunday. Hall of Famer. Shouts out.
Nice. Always love the veterans to stay with the team for that long of time. We got Brandon Graham back, so I'm going with the Bears.
You son of a bitch.
That's why I let you just go on your whole thing. Just so I can stay. I'm going with the
son
Bears.
Of a bitch.
They do say, okay, they've beaten good teams, but bad teams, but they're actually doing it, and they're making it harder than they should be. It's a new coach. They're trying to get rid of all that old school Bears juju that they've been having for the past couple of years. They're trying to get back in the winning side of the of the league. I just think they're gonna be able to get it done, and it's gonna be an ugly game. The Vikings might start dominating early, and then they might just get surprised sometime during the third quarter, and then the Bears bounce back, and then they win by 1 score. That's my prediction. 1 score game, Bears.
I think the likely scenario here is what every Bears game this season has been, which is it's kind of like a weird game, and then it becomes a back and forth contest in the fourth quarter. Yeah. I expect it. every Vikings-Bears game, it feels like for the last 5 years, has come down to the last possession. So I expect that to be the case here. But the Vikings, they've only won one game at home this year. J.J. McCarthy has yet to win a game at home. And I still think, knowing his mentality, the whole, like, he wears his eye black. The only time he wouldn't wear it is against Ohio State because he wanted Ryan Day to see his face when he whooped his ass. Like, I think in JJ's mind, was there ever a chance he was going to be drafted number one overall? No. But in his mind, it's like the Bears needed a quarterback. They could have drafted me. That's the team I grew up rooting for. Just like Ohio State needed a quarterback, and they didn't take my commitment. They took Kyle McCord's commitment. So I'm going to show them every single time we play why they should have taken me. I think there's something, he hasn't talked about it, but there's something in there with him where it's like, the Bears specifically, I think he wants to whoop that ass every time they play. So I hope they get it done because fuck the Bears.
Divisional game, man. Divisional games, they're always interesting. They're always intense. So we'll see.
We need this, though. We absolutely need this game if we're going to even sniff being around the playoff discussion by December. Next up, we got...
It's 4 o'clock.
Let me do this one first. NFC West matchup. 6-4 San Francisco 49ers head to the desert to take on the 3-6 Arizona Cardinals. 4:05 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Niners Cardinals. Who you got?
Timeout. All games in the afternoon slot are divisional games this Sunday.
You love to see it.
I fucking love that. I love divisional games, man.
This is a 4 o'clock slate I could get behind. Yeah. Usually it's like there's maybe one good game in there and a bunch of just clunkers with teams I don't care about. This is a slate right here.
Well, let's start with that one you use first. You talk about first. The 49ers Cardinals. Today at work, I was sitting in the open house tour for the college I work for, and then this family, they walked into the registration table. The kid comes in, gives us his name, he's registered, welcome, blah, blah. I see his father. She's standing right next to him. His father was wearing a 49ers jersey.
I knew it.
He was wearing a 49ers jersey. And I said, oh, you're a 49ers fan? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, look at my watch. I showed him my Eagles watch. And I told him, it's a champion's watch. And then he started laughing. He took it well. And I said, welcome. Have a nice day. And for that reason only, I'm going with 49ers. They're injured. They're struggling. They're trying to get into the division. They're trying to get into the playoffs. The Cardinals, they're still inconsistent. They're still the worst team in their division. That doesn't mean they're a horrible team. They're just inconsistent. I think Kyler Murray's still out. I'm not sure if he's going to play this Sunday. And, I don't think the Cardinals have what it takes to beat the 49ers, not even at their own house. If they shut my mouth, then good for the Cardinals. But I believe the 49ers are going to win, especially because of that sign. Because, you always take – you pay attention to signs, Kyle. If you see a 49ers shirt or you have a 49ers game that week, the 49ers are going to win.
I'm on the Cardinals, and here's why. I've been saying it for weeks. They're better than their record says. They're better with Jacoby Brissett than they are with Kyler Murray. Did not pan out well for them last week.
Jacoby Brisket.
But the Niners are getting Brock Purdy back.
Oh.
And they've been sowing the seeds. The NFL scriptwriters have been sowing the seeds of
Mac Jones
quarterback controversy.
Yeah.
With how well Mac Jones has been playing. So I think the Niners are going to drop this one so they can hammer the button all week on ESPN and Fox Sports 1 and all the podcasts of, is there a quarterback controversy brewing? Should they have not paid Brock Purdy? Are they better off with Mac Jones? And we're not going to get that if the Niners win and they get to 7-4. But we will get that if they drop to 6-5 and the Cardinals pull out a win. And again, it's a divisional game. Got the records out the window. So it's in the desert. The Cardinals are due some wins here. They're more talented than this. They're due some wins. Divisional game. That and I want some of these better teams to start losing so the Vikings have a better chance to sneak in the playoffs. win a couple playoff games, win 3 playoff games, win 4, win the Super Bowl. Why not? Fuck it. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Cardinals. Why not?
That's fine. I mean, I hate the Red Cowboys. I'm just picking them because of the sign. So, let's see. I saw the sign.
All right, next up we
got
got
my eyes. I saw the sign.
Oh boy. See if you got a sign on this one. Another NFC West matchup. 7-2 Seattle Seahawks headed to sunny Los Angeles to take on the 7-2 Los Angeles Rams. 4:05 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Big matchup here for control of the West.
The
Seahawks and
most
Rams.
important game of the week, in my opinion, because if the Eagles fall to the Lions or the Lions beat the Eagles, or that's the same thing. If the Eagles win or lose, whoever wins this game is going to be on their tail for that number 1 seed in the division, in the conference. So this is the biggest game of the week. Both teams have the same record. Both teams are trying to win the division. Both teams are trying to get the 1 seed. This is going to be a heavyweight fight. But the Rams suck, so I'm picking the Seahawks.
Whoa.
They suck. They suck. They play well, but they always fall short when it's important for them to actually put up the numbers and be on the clutch. They do not play well on the clutch. They are dumb. They still have a kicking problem. Their coach is a moron. The Rams suck. The Rams suck. They have a good team, but they suck. So I'm picking the Seahawks. They're the best team in this game.
This feels personal. I hate the Rams, but the Rams of this team, I can't decide what they are yet because I don't feel like they've had a real proper challenge. I mean, they beat the Colts, so you got to give them credit for that. They lost to the Eagles, but like as they've ascended, and Matt Stafford's been on this insane run of 4 touchdown passes with no turnovers for 4 straight games or something like that. And I just look at them like, it's not that I don't think they're capable of being this good. It's just I want to see them late in the season playing better teams. So this is a big test. The Seahawks, I think they're really good. This is a tough game to pick, man, because like it could come down to a kick.
Yeah.
And the Rams do have a kicking problem. I'm going to trust Sean McVay and Matt Stafford, the experience. They beat the dog shit out of Sam Darnold twice last year. So this could be some Sam Darnold revenge, but I think they know how to attack Sam Darnold, and I just trust the experience. McVay, to me, I was always a skeptic on this guy. They won a Super Bowl, went to another one. I'm still kind of a skeptic, but seeing how he's evolved his offense over the years, like this year, they're running, like the last 2 games, they're running an insane amount of 13 personnel, which you never see. 3 tight ends on the field at the same time. Like he's constantly looking to evolve. It's working for him. Stafford he's in the conversation for MVP right now, and McVay knows what he's doing versus McDonald is still a relatively young coach. Darnold is still kind of like solidifying himself as a legit top flight quarterback. It's a coin toss to me, but it's in LA, which means nothing because there's no actual Rams fans in Los Angeles, despite what they might tell you and how obnoxious they are. I think these 2 teams are going to split the season series, but I think the Rams get the first one, and then I like the Seahawks to get the get back at home later on in the year. So I'm picking the Rams.
Fuck the Rams, man.
I agree.
Fuck the Rams. They're just go back to St. Louis. Just go back to St. Louis. Nobody wants you.
Do.
Like,
we don't need you here. We don't need you here.
Nobody
we got the
wants
Chargers.
you. They have the Chargers. They don't need you. Just go back to St. Louis. Battle out with the Battle Hawks and see who gets the actual franchise there in St. Louis. I don't care.
Go Hawks. All right. Next up, we got another divisional matchup. 4-5 Baltimore Ravens.
On the upside.
Looking to get back to 500 against the 2-7 Cleveland Browns. There may be no more of a one-sided rivalry with this much hatred baked into it than Ravens-Browns. But who you got? 4:25 p.m. Eastern on CBS.
Listen, people always believe that the Browns are going to fail and they're going to lose to the Ravens because Ravens is the better team. There's no question about it. The Ravens are the better team. They are not, they are contenders. They are not having the issues that the Browns have had for since God knows when. They have an actual quarterback. They're not paying 4, 5, 8 quarterbacks in different teams and then playing Dylan Gabriel, whatever the fuck his name is, when they have Shedeur Sanders. The Browns, people forget that they always find a way to beat the Ravens. They do. It happened last season, I believe. It was 2 years ago. I can't really remember. People need to understand that this is a divisional game and these teams hate each other because of the history. The original Ravens franchise was the original Browns franchise. So, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong, of course. Of course, there's history, there's rivalry, and the Browns, they can get it done, man. They can actually beat the Ravens. They're at home. They have hatred for this team. They're looking to make a statement. They're looking to get back. They're looking to actually get on the good winning side. But with that said, the Ravens are going to smoke them.
I was getting ready to say you got to stop trying to make the Steelers winning this division happen because it's not going to happen. The Ravens will win this game. The Browns, again, no team's fan base hates another team possibly more than the Browns hate the Ravens. But it ain't good enough because the Browns ain't good enough. The Ravens are on the comeback. They're going to get back to 500, and it's all out in front from here, baby. Baltimore, close game. Baltimore gets it done.
Do Ravens fans go caw? That's a battle cry?
I don't think so.
Missed opportunity. Next.
I do like their mascot, though.
What's the name?
5-4.
Poe? Yeah.
5-4 Kansas City Chiefs. 8-2 Denver Broncos. Huge game in the AFC West.
Another big game.
4:25 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Chiefs Broncos. Who you got?
I got the no good for nothing Sean Payton beating the good for nothing Chiefs with that good for nothing Bo Nix. Denver Broncos winning this game, and the Chiefs are going to continue to struggle to get back into the playoffs.
Chiefs.
Let's get back.
The Broncos have been playing with fire. The Chiefs, I don't care what their record is. The Chiefs are not a team that you could play with fire against. Pat Surtain's still out. Yeah, you got them boys up front. You got Zach Allen, Nick Bonito, Jonathan Cooper doing their thing. But Andy Reid coming off a bye he ain't undefeated, but he's as close as you're going to get to being undefeated over a 27-year career as a head coach, something like that. They're coming off a bye.
That makes nothing to me.
Well, it should. Denver, watch out because you about to get smoked.
It makes nothing to me because they came off the bye 2 years ago when the Eagles faced them in Kansas City, and the Eagles beat their ass. And it's next year you're going to yell at the fans, and then the season was over. So that means nothing to me about, Andy Reid coming from the bye. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter to me.
It does.
You
got a great coach. He knows how to use that extra week.
Hey! I'm an Eagles fan. I know he's a great coach. I'm just saying. It doesn't matter to me if they come from a bye because in history they have been proven to lose after a bye with Andy Reid as head coach. So it's not like it's a sure thing. It's like the Money in the Bank briefcase in wrestling. There's no. It's
guarantee. As close to a sure thing as it's gonna get, though. It's as close to a sure thing as it's gonna get. It's it's not some meaningless stat where it's like, when the moon is in a fucking waxing gibbous, the Browns always beat the Bengals or something like that. That means nothing. Having an extra week to prepare with a Hall of Fame head coach and a Hall of Fame quarterback means something when you're going up against a great defense, which the Broncos do have. And fuck Sean Payton. So I'm telling you, the Chiefs are going to smoke the Broncos. Smoke them.
They're going to gallop on top of that fucking fake-ass mascot that they have because they're not even Native Americans. They just call themselves Chiefs because their owner was called the Chief. So
the Chiefs are going to be eating horse meat for weeks after this.
Nah, they won't. They won't be. They're going to be the Damian Sandow of the Money in the Bank, not the Dolph Ziggler of the Money in the Bank bye week. Okay? So
I disagree. All right, next up we got Sunday Night Football.
The main event.
The 6-3 Detroit Lions taking on the 7-2 Philadelphia Eagles. 8:20 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Lions Eagles. As if I need to ask, who you got?
Just listen to the Rocky fanfare in the background. Just listen to it. Just hyping it up. This is a heavyweight fight. This is Apollo Creed. This is Rocky Balboa. This is right there in the Philadelphia Spectrum, just going at it. Every single round, all rounds completed. Every fighter is going down. Every fighter is tired. And that's what this is going to be. This is going to be one of those ugly games where every single team is going to put it all on the line. This should have been the NFC Championship last year if it wasn't for Tate and Daniels and their stupid VR techniques. The Lions, the Eagles in Philadelphia, Lincoln Financial Field. I'm going with the Eagles, obviously, but this is going to be one of the best games of the season. I'm telling you right now. It's not going to be what happened on Monday night last week with the Packers. It's not going to be another boring Thursday night football game. It's not going to be Steelers and whatever the fuck their team they're facing last week, the Jets. I don't care. This is going to be one of those games where you're just going to see ball slingers, running the ball, great defensive action. It's going to have it all. And in the end, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to have their hand raised, and they're going to be yelling, Adrian, at the end of the day. So, yeah, go Birds. Can't wait for this game.
I've waffled on this game. I came in leaning strongly toward the Lions, but I think it was Rich Eisen who said that chaos and controversy to the Eagles is like oxygen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's something to, and again, AJ Brown, he stopped being vague. He stopped, posting Bible scripture, and he just came out and said what he means. And I respect that because he's right. And so then I started to lean toward the Eagles. But then I was thinking I went through, the Lions are the only team in football right now that I am like solidly confident in as Super Bowl contenders. It doesn't mean they're the only Super Bowl contender, but every other team I have some kind of question about. The Lions, I don't like, yeah, Dan Campbell just took over play calling. They got 2 new coordinators, but it didn't feel like the play calling has been a problem.
It's still the same.
Maybe to hit it's yeah, so I'm going to pick Detroit. But like you said, it's a heavyweight fight. It's a 50-50 coin flip type of game. I think there's a strong chance that this is our NFC Championship game this year. And I trust the Lions. And this isn't even about the Eagles. This is more about the Lions, that the Lions are the one team where you put them up against anybody right now. And I have less questions about them, and I trust them more than I trust anyone else in football.
I respect that opinion because, honestly, I'm one of the Eagles fans that actually respects the Lions team. I like the Lions team. I like their culture. I like their style of play. They're aggressive. They go for it like on 4th down constantly. I still think they are playing way too aggressively at times. Not as aggressive as last year, which cost them with injuries. I feel like they should slow and pace themselves a little bit more so they don't put themselves at risk that often for injuries. But I respect the Lions. The Lions team is one of those teams where I like their fan base. I like their history. I like the fact that they are passionate about their team. And I like the fact that their team has a great culture around it. So I can't wait for this game, honestly. With all due respect and all seriousness, I still believe the Eagles are going to win this game. I'm always going to pick the Eagles when it comes to their games. But, man, if the Lions win, I would not be angry. I would not be upset because this is one of the best teams in the league.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
No, I'm gonna be fine because I will expect
this dude could be talking shit.
Listen, if we were to get beaten by the Panthers or the Commanders or the fucking Giants like what happened last a couple of weeks ago, I will be upset because they're a shitty ass team and we got beat by a shitty ass team. You know, it's like Dallas losing every week to shitty teams. Like it's
side swipe shot at the Cowboys.
It's when it comes to losing to great teams, if it's a good game, it's a competitive game, there's no bullshit by the refs, there's no bullshit, like there's no Sean Payton fucking bounty hunting and shit like that. I respect that. So yeah, I wouldn't be angry if the Lions win this game. I will be upset because we lost another game, but we might lose at number one seed if the Seahawks win their game. So, yeah, I can't wait for it. This is going to be one of the best weeks in the NFL, and this is what a game to finish the week. To finish the actual Sunday slate, the week, because there's no Monday Night Football game this week.
I mean, not one that matters at least, but we will still cover it here on this program.
Do we have to?
America's team, the 3-5-1 Dallas Cowboys, head to Vegas to take on the 2-7 Las Vegas Raiders. 8:15 p.m. Eastern on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN Unlimited. Cowboys Raiders to close out the week. Who you got?
It's the Booty Bowl, where no team matters and every single person loses if they watch this game. The Cowboys face the Raiders, and guess what? Nobody gives a shit except for fans of these teams. I'm going with the Cowboys. I'm going to throw them a bone.
Yeah.
They need it.
The Raiders suck, dude. The Raiders are terrible.
The Cowboys need to win. They're going back from the bye week. They had a time to rest. They had time to get themselves, together after the tragedy that they have been going through as a team because of the death of their teammate, Nealon, I believe was his last name. So I'm gonna throw them a bone. I'm not gonna take any more shots at the Cowboys, but it is a booty bowl. Nobody cares about this game. I don't know why this is on prime time. Maybe Seahawks Rams is gonna be should be on prime time, but they're gonna be on prime time like a couple of weeks down the line. So. I'm Cowboys. Raiders suck. Pete Carroll cannot do miracles with Geno Smith. Hey, Geno, fuck you still. I still hate you. So, yeah, Cowboys.
We got to do better with primetime. I know there's reasons where, like, each network gets, like, a certain amount of high – like, there's, like, not bidding, but, like, each network kind of gets to, like, pick and choose some games that they want because – everyone's paying a bunch of money for the shit, but like, we're talking about standalone games in primetime, Monday night. Like, I know some people were higher on the Raiders coming into the season. Not too many people were very high on the Cowboys. How the hell did this game end up in Monday night? What? Come on, man. Come on, man. All the games in this week that you could have put in this primetime slot. And this is what we do.
Somebody at Disney said, "Hey, let's pick the game that we want to show on week 11 on Monday Night Football. Look at that. We got the Cowboys and the Las Vegas Raiders. That's going to be a hell of a game. Let's pick that one." Come on.
Stupid.
Like, even in the offseason, you knew that game sucks. Like, it's not like, oh, my God, they look exciting in the offseason on paper. No, that game sucks. Come on.
I don't get it, man.
Whatever. Cowboys winning, Raiders losing at home. Another team that doesn't have real fans, if you ask me. unless they're fans from when they're playing in Oakland and California.
All right, who's on bye this week?
On bye, we got the Colts, who are still my pick to win the AFC number 1 seed, and the Saints, who are still trying to get better. So the Colts are going to get some much needed rest. They've been working their ass out. Daniel Jones has been balling every single week, even the weeks that they lose. And the Saints, well, they're trying to do something. Kellen Moore's trying to do something with this team. You said that you see some good stuff in there.
They're fighting hard for the man.
Yeah, so, nice week to rest and, try to get some things working for them for next week. So, yeah, just 2 teams on bye. I think the Colts and the Saints both benefit from it at this time.
Yeah.
That's it.
I have nothing to add. Do you have any non-pick predictions?
Broncos are going to beat the Chiefs by 2 scores.
Psychotic prediction, but it's bold. I'll give you that.
Yep, that's my pick. And like I said, was it the Bears game, Vikings game? Yeah, that's going to be 1-score game.
Well, it's the Vikings, so of course it's going to be a 1-score game. Those are the only type of games they know how to play. But that's the show. That's the picks for the week. Like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, drop a comment.
Tell me I'm wrong.
What are your picks?
Yeah,
let us know.
Tell me how wrong I am and how dumb I am, even though I'm calling myself the football noob, you morons. Just type it out and insult me on your comments and your little greasy fingers on your screen. Just throw it at me. Just let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm an idiot, if I'm wrong or not. It's fine. It's fine. I will reply to you if you want me to. I will. Just come at me, bro. If you want some, come get some. John Cena's in his retirement tour right now, so I think it feels appropriate right now. So just let me know, man. Let me know what you think about what I'm saying, what Kyle is saying. Let us know what you guys think. We'd love to hear from you guys, even if it's an insult or if you're just trying to give some more insight, or even if you just want to agree. We would love to hear from you guys. So just let us know what you think. Let us know what your picks are. Let us know if you think we're wrong, if you think we're right. Just let us know. Subscribe. Click on that ring bell to get notifications, because Kyle puts up a lot of content during the week that might get lost. So just make sure that you click on that bell just to make sure you get every single thing that we upload here on this channel. We'd love to hear from you guys. Just keep it up, man.
And until next time, take it easy, football heads. Skol Vikings. Let's get it, baby. Fuck the Bears.
Go Birds, and God bless football.